Hi guys, it's Ankita. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to recommend some audiobooks to you. I started listening to audiobooks last year and they have completely changed my reading experience. I would say it has improved my reading experience because now I can read when I'm on the go. Anyway, this video is not about the benefits of listening to audiobooks. It's all about recommending you good audiobooks. So of all the audiobooks that I have listened to in the past 1.5 year, I found that these few audiobooks were really remarkable. And if you have never tried audiobooks, you might want to give these ones a try. I have a very short list to recommend you in this video, but it's a good mix of classics, fantasy fiction, there's some middle grade horror and mystery. So yeah, let's get started. So the first book that I would like to recommend you is Graceling by Christine Kishore. This is part of a series, but you can read this book or rather listen to it as a standalone. And I absolutely loved it because it has a full cast of characters. I have still to come across an audiobook that has a full cast of character, well, other than this, of course. And I think it just alleviates the experience of listening to the book. I have a really hard time listening to fantasy fiction, mainly because it's really difficult to remember the names and the places and the magical system. It is difficult for me to follow that on an audiobook. However, this one was super easy to follow. In this book, we follow Katza, who is blessed with a grace of killing. She is a skilled killer and she is also the niece of the king. So she is basically a royal assassin. However, there is so much more to her than being just a killer. She does not believe that the king is always right. So she forms a group or a committee who helps the people in the kingdom, and it's just such a lovely story, such a wholesome story. I loved the transition music in the audiobook. I also loved the character of Prince Bo. Just overall a really wonderful book to read. I love Katza so much. She is kind and she is strong and she is an amazing protagonist. The next audiobook that I would like to recommend to you is The Hobbit, another fantasy fiction. I listened to this on Spotify. I do not recall who read this one, but it is so well done. Again, there is so much background music. You feel as if you have been transported to the Middle Earth and you are going on a journey with Bilbo Baggins. It's amazing. If you don't know what The Hobbit is about, it's about Bilbo Baggins, who is a hobbit. Hobbit are small people in Middle Earth who are absolutely cheerful. And this one hobbit goes on an amazing journey, which happens to be a treasure hunt or treasure retrieval, to be very specific. And there are dwarves and there's Gandalf. Again, if you don't know Gandalf, please read The Hobbit or listen to it. Listen to this audiobook. It is absolutely amazing. It is such a treat. Another fantasy is also a horror. I don't know what genre this exactly fits into. I guess it's a middle grade book, and that is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, and it is read by the author himself. I think whenever an author reads his own book, it just turns out to be an excellent audiobook. The author obviously is the creator of the tone of the book, and just listening to the author telling you a story is amazing. And I think this is an ideal book to read during this time of the year, end of summer, early fall, just perfect timing, because this story is set in a graveyard, as you can probably tell by the title. It is set in the graveyard. It has ghouls and ghosts, and it's just such a lovely story in which we follow a little boy and how he grows up in a graveyard, how he's raised by ghosts. And it's just amazing how his experience is so different from other children. Yeah, I just hope you listen to this one. If not, you can also read it. I would recommend listening to this. It is just so wonderfully done. Speaking of middle grade books, the next book is A Boy Called Christmas by Matt Haig, and it is read by Stephen Fry. There is something about listening to Stephen Fry narrate a story. He just reads them so well. This one just is a lovely story. It is a story of Father Christmas, Santa Claus, and with adorable characters, and oh, such lovely, lovely, heartfelt story. It is just the most wonderful winter story. I would recommend you listen to this book in December. Another Christmas book, and this one is a classic, is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and it is read by Jim Dale. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens is a story which I have read several times. I've lost count of the number of times I've read it, but it is such a special story to me because it is a reminder of how relationships are more important than money, anything material. And that's exactly what the protagonist in this story learns. And the character transformation in this one is one of the most remarkable and just very dear and meaningful to me. As you can tell from the title, set during Christmas, and I would highly recommend you listen to this one if you have never read A Christmas Carol. And even if you have read it, you can still listen to it as I did last year, and I absolutely loved it. I have another classic on the list, and that is Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. This is again a special book, a comfort book for me. Whenever I'm feeling really low, I pick up Lucy Maud Montgomery's books, and they always manage to cheer me up. One of the downsides of listening to audiobooks versus reading her books is that there are so many beautiful lines and lines of wisdom in her books that I constantly want to bookmark them or, annotate or just highlight them. So that is something that I find really is missing. But if you are short of time and you just want to listen to something that will instantly cheer you up, I would highly recommend this. I've listened to the ones that are read by Laurie Klein. Absolutely loved listening to them. The last series that I would like to recommend is a murder mystery series. That is the Chief Inspector Armand Gamache series by Louise Penny, and these books are read by Ralph Gosham. I think I've read 3 to 4 books in the series, and I'm trying to speed up over here because I'm losing daylight, and then I'll have to turn on my ring light, which I don't want to do because then it will reflect in my glasses, and that would just kind of ruin the experience of me editing the video and you watching the video. Anyway, I am digressing. This series is also known as the Three Pines Mysteries because it is set in a small village of Three Pines in Quebec, Canada. These are amazing mysteries because I absolutely love Chief Inspector Armand Gamache. He has such a unique way of solving mysteries, and what I like about all of these books is that the author really dwells into human nature to solve mysteries, or rather Chief Inspector Armand Gamache dwells into human nature. Instead of focusing on who might have committed the murder, he really focuses on why was it committed. He explores all the relationships and the mindsets of the people involved in the life of the person who was murdered, and they just are so unique and amazing and so well written, and it is really, really easy to follow when I'm listening to them. Anyway, I'm losing daylight, so thank you so much for watching this video. Do let me know in the comments down below if you have a favorite audiobook, if you have listened to any of the audiobooks that I have recommended. I would really like to know. And again, thank you so much for watching. As always, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Until then, take care.